All right, guys, let's get going.
Well, you know what time it is.
All right, guys, we are back. It is our Sunday live. Happy Father's Day edition. We are going to be getting into a rather big problem. And this problem comes from, doing some minor adjustments here for you guys. This problem comes in when people take their vehicles to quick change oil places and they don't put all the bolts back in it. I'm going to show you guys what you're going to need for hardware and everything to make it work. We got our first chat in today from SoCal. Hey man, how have you been? It's been a minute. Yeah, it has been a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. So as we transition, guys, we're doing a whole lot of different things. We're playing with some whole new software. I'm working on the screen share. It's been giving me a headache. So trying to screen share. Trying to screen share the news has not been going well. So I'm working on that problem as we speak, but it may not let me do it today. So I need to figure out why it's been so glitchy. And then kind of go from there. Maybe there's a setting that isn't right or something, but I will work on the news section for you guys. But today we are going to get into how to fix this. Jay, good to have you in here today. So I'm going to do a little bit of some fun for you guys. You guys heard the intro. Let me play that one more time for you guys. And then, yeah. Guys, we've added some sound to the game here.
Well, you know what time it is.
Give me ones if everything sounds good on the sound effects, guys. I got a lot more that I'll surprise you with as we go. Give me ones if everything sounds good. I don't want it to be blowing you guys' eardrums out. So give me ones if everything sounds good. Awesome, Jay. You're able to pick up my voice and stuff really good? Am I coming in clear on the voice side? Oh yeah, that's what I am using, Jay. I'm using voice mod. Yep. Awesome, awesome, guys. So yeah, there's a lot more sound effects to come as we go today, guys. Kind of the first day that I'm playing with this. Nice, nice. Yeah, I was hoping everything came together well with that. The only thing that's frustrating me is I've been having problems sharing my news, and it's frustrating. It just doesn't want to pull up on screen. And I had it fixed. It was working right before the stream, and now it's just crashed. So I don't know if it's something where I would have to reset my web browser, which I've already done several times. So I just don't know if there's a glitch there. So Cal, just got my Jeep back from the dealership yesterday. Haven't seen it since January. Wow. Wow. Now, the question is, did they get it fixed right? Yeah, Jay, that's what I'm using. Yep. All right, so for everyone in here, guys, for the next week or two, I'm going to take questions without any super chats. After that point, though, we do got to start trying to push the channel a little bit harder. So unless you're a mod, I won't read questions unless you super chat them in. When you super chat them in, I give you the shout out and read your question. So that's we use that sound effect anytime that we get chat interaction or something to react to that fits. But that being said, guys, for the next 2 weeks, we still are answering questions. If you're just coming in, viewing, after this, we're going to go to, if you're not a mod, you'll have to super chat your questions in. Any dollar amount I read on screen. If it's a higher dollar amount, I'll give you a shout out. So that's what it is. We've got to do that because we got to start building the channel. SoCal says it is 95% PTU went out on the back order. Now it's weird shifts once in a while. See, that's the problem when they start dealing with this stuff at the dealer level, and there are some things that go wrong with modern vehicles that not even the dealers have answers for. We've talked about this in ad nauseum. I'll probably get into it today during the news section. Jay, nice. Yeah, guys, throw wrenches up in the chat anytime. You guys don't need permission to put chats up in the wrenches up in the chat. That is more than okay here. We support wrenches in the chats at all times. I don't throw it up as often because it's a little harder for me to search for them to find them, because I have to use the software and scroll down through all the emojis. But yeah, anytime, guys, throw wrenches up in the chat. That is very cool. We like that here. All right. Of course. Now it just glitched my chat. Fun. All right, I will get that fixed here in just a bit, guys. But today's topic, we are talking about what happens when you take your vehicle in for a quick change, oil change. What can you expect? Why is it such a problem? And how do you get past some of the, let's say, problems? And by getting through some of the problems, we can actually fix a lot of the issues when we take vehicles in. The biggest thing is knowing why the problem happens and then what we need to do to fix it. There, got my chat back. Emery says hi. Hi, good to have you in here on this Sunday. Guys, happy Father's Day. Let's do that before we get started. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Take the time to thank your dad, even if you don't have a dad that was present or in your life. You still have somebody that was a father figure to you. Take the time to call them, say hi, wish them happy Father's Day. It means the world to every dad out there. So take the time and do that, guys. But do that after the stream, of course. But today's topic is replacing your bolts in your shields. I've seen this so much that I need to do a video on it. And the reason why is there's too many people that cut corners when they're putting shields on. When you put a shield underneath there that is supposed to hold up when you run over debris, and you only put a third of the bolts in it, it ain't gonna hold. It ain't gonna hold. I mean, that's a huge. Yeah, we gotta fix this. We gotta put these things back the way they're supposed to be. We gotta put them in right. We can't be cutting corners. These corners make it to where it's just not practical for us to have vehicles with this kind of stuff on it if the parts aren't gonna get put back on it. Sometimes you'll see Toyotas with all of the skid plates removed because in order to change the oil filter, you have to pull both skid plates, and most people don't want to do that. So what they'll do is they'll remove the skid plates. Guys, you've seen it in the intro here. I'll pull the intro screen up for you guys one more time. Right here, this top one up here, this is the Silver Swine. This is an 04 Toyota Tacoma with 40,000 miles. The skid plates are on it. They've been powder coated. All the bolts are in it. When I brought that truck back, the dealership themselves had lost a bolt. I went and bought one and put one in it to fix it. This is what I'm talking about by people just doing quick cut corners. And then in the long run, we wind up having the problems. We wind up being the ones that are dealing with the bad issues. So when it comes down to it, we got to make sure we reinstall our stuff properly. Give me ones if that all makes sense to you guys. I want to know how everything's going, guys. We got 11 of you in here and only one like. Guys, smash that like button. Engagement is based on chats and likes, so we got to get those up. If this is your first time tuning into a live stream on Sunday here, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell. That really helps us build this channel. We're trying to bring merch this year for you guys, so we're working on this. As we do this, it's really going to help build the channel, and we can bring you guys a lot more content. I would absolutely love to go to car shows, guys, and bring you guys along for the car shows. I would absolutely love to do that, but we got to get the channel built up because I'm going to need a whole new set of streaming software and everything to do it. I can't do it off of my current setup. I can do it off my phone, but the quality is quite a bit lower, and it might become an option if we want to go to one. So in the state I live in, there's two of them that we could go to, guys. There's Back to the 50s, which is huge. There's also more of the high performance hot rod show. So those are two that I'm also considering. I'm trying to play around with this screen share and it's just not working for me. OBS is being an absolute pain. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, so let me grab the shield and I'll show you some of the stuff that we're talking about. All right, so here's our shield right here, this big bad boy. Right on here are clips. I've had to replace these clips because I'm putting all new bolts, all new hardware in this. Because the bolts were missing, I'm not just gonna put new bolts in this, I'm gonna replace all the hardware. You might ask, well, why are you doing that? That's a bit excessive. Because I'm not going to the dealer to buy bolts like this and spending $25 to $30 per bolt. I'm not going to do it. I can buy a whole bag of bolts for less than $7, which is enough to put this whole shield on, where if I were to buy just one at that price, it doesn't make any sense. And this is some of the stuff that happens when we don't put our bolts back in. If we want to put it back and put it back together right, we have to get a whole new hardware kit. That hardware kit sometimes is easy to get our hands on, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you have to kind of reinvent the wheel. So let me show you guys how I did this one to save us some money and to make sure that we got what we needed. All right, so what I did is I went and I bought some of these. Okay. You guys should be able to see the part number right there. It's a little torn at the part number. So part number by the looks of the bag here is a 6652373. This is the shortcut, guys. This is how we fix it. We go to our parts store, we buy the bolts, we buy the new clips, and we replace everything. When we do this, we can refasten the shield and not have any problems, and we don't need to spend those dealer prices. The dealers absolutely take you to the cleaners for bolts. The reason why is this is an easy way for them to make money. How do they do that? Real simple. Because they're using factory hardware, they can charge a higher price. Because it's made specially for them and they put their packaging on it and they handle all the shipping and everything associated with it, they get away with charging pretty much whatever they want. Is it right? No, but honestly, using factory hardware in a situation like this is just a... We don't do it. We just don't do it. Because it doesn't make sense after you've lost the bolts from the factory stuff to try to rebuy them. The cost is too high. The only time I suggest this is when we're in a situation where we're dealing with something of collector value, something that is very expensive, something that is designed to be done in a certain way. What might this look like? Well, let's say you have an all-original 70s Chevelle, Camaro, Corvette, Mustang, and everything is numbers matching. Literally everything is numbers matching. You don't want to go to the hardware store or your parts store and buy bolts. Why? Because that car has a value based on it being all original. That all original carries a lot more value to it, meaning that the more value you can give to the vehicle and maintain in the vehicle by keeping the miles down, the more that vehicle is going to be worth in the future. So this is why you guys don't always see cool cars running around constantly. It's because the cost of them to maintain them and keep them at an OEM level and a high value level means those cars might only get driven 3, 4, maximum probably 6 times a year. Oftentimes they're going to shows. These are not really daily drivers or street vehicles at this point. Most of them got too much horsepower, they're fun to play with, but for the most part, they're designed to be collector pieces. They're not really meant to be daily drivers. Doing this trick on those kind of cars is a huge no-no. You want the OEM bolts on that, so you are going to pay the cost. Unfortunately, that's cost of doing business in that setup. But on something that's a daily driver, whether it be either one of these two behind me, it works just fine to get your hardware from your parts store or even a hardware store. This helps you make sure that the vehicle is 100% put together before you put it back on the road. All right. Got 8 of you guys in here and 2 likes. Let's get up to 50% engagement, guys. Let's get the engagement up. We really need that to kind of help the stream keep rocking and rolling here. I still got to play with why I can't screen share the news, but I will work on that. And we're going to transition over to our project. All right, I'm going to bring you guys down here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Try to keep you guys far enough back so you can see. Currently grabbing all my wrenches and ratchet, extension, basically everything I need for the skid plates. I also want to grab all of my bolts. Okay, I've got my bolts organized somewhere here, guys. I gotta find those quick. Had them laid out, but I had a whole bunch of stuff on my bench earlier this week, so. Grabbing everything I need. Okay, there's one clip we're gonna put on before we go any further, guys. So let me set you up here. I wanna do this clip for you guys. I wanna show you guys how we put these clips on. So our clips are shaped like this, bit of a C style to them. And what that allows us to do is slide them over plastic and get them to fasten down. So we start them on the edge and then we just wiggle them down into place until they fully seat. So just like that. You can see the hole through it. Put my finger on the back side like that. So now this is in there, and we're ready to put the bolts into this shield. In the front part, there's a few more clips that I want to put in though, because these clips were there, but the bolts were completely gone. They already got rid of all the bolts. All right, I got 9 of you guys in here, guys. Hit that like button for me. Bill, good to have you in here. I'll bring you guys back down to the project here. Okay. I had the bolts laid out somewhere, but because I had already opened the bag, I had already opened this bag and pulled out the bolts that I needed, but I set them down somewhere and couldn't find them. But this is why I always try to have a little bit of extra hardware around. If you're doing this project though, you can take a piece of cardboard, poke a bunch of holes in it, and put it into the cardboard so that you have it. You can even draw a diagram to help you out. That would be another way to do it. So I've got 2 more clips to put on. Those are located right up here on our splash shield. This is the wheel liner. And our goal, again, make sure we get all the bolts put back in this shield. Okay, sometimes we have this where the plastic is a little thicker to where our bolts won't go in very good. I'm going to show you guys a trick here. All right, happy Father's Day, everyone. This is our Sunday live that we do every Sunday at 1 p.m. So when they're too tight, you can open them up by sticking a flat screwdriver in it and then lightly pull the tabs. You can give just a little bit of room by doing it this way. What this does is opens it up, so when you slide it on something thicker, it doesn't actually cut and gouge into it. Sometimes if it's too thick, like what you're trying to clip these on is too thick, it won't even go on. So this is how I usually do it. Just a little at a time. I just separate it out a little bit and try to slip that on each time until it goes on tight. I don't want this falling off and coming off loose, because when somebody takes the hardware off on the next oil change, which is more than likely going to be me, I don't want the clips falling all out from where they're supposed to be. Okay, there's already a clip on that one, so I must have not have got that clip off. I'm going to use the one that's on there and see if the hardware fits on there. But what I need to do is take 2 bolts out of the back of this shield, guys. There's 12 of you guys in here, only 2 likes. Guys, get those likes up for me. Helps us build the channel, and we're really trying to grow this year. All right. So, we have to take 2 bolts off underneath here. There's actually 4 that go across here. This holds the back of the shield. So these have to come out every single oil change. So every oil change, 4 of these bolts come out. These 4 bolts are what holds both shields together. Next, we want to slide our shield up into place. And this is how I always slide it into place, is I put it on my belly and slide back. And then if I have to, I bring it forward. And this one I do have to do that way. So I have to slide this forward in order to get it into place where I need it. Now, what you can do is if you're fighting the shield a little bit, you can go ahead and put some of the bolts in it. So I just pulled 2 bolts out. What I can do is slide 2 bolts in this. This will hold the shield. I do not want to go tight with these back ones though, guys. This is the trick to shields. Always put your bolts in loose. Don't run them tight until you have all the bolts in it. This is a huge mistake that most people make, is they'll start putting bolts in it, they'll tighten it up right away. You do not want to tighten these up right away. You want to leave them loose, because you do have to shift these plates around in order to get everything to line up. Okay, so the back is loose. I can shift this around and move this around however I want. So these are all up into place. I'm checking where my bolts go, making sure that those are lined up. So I've got 2 different size bolts going in this, guys. 2 different sizes. So I got some number 10s and some number 8s. These are the 2 bolt hardwares that I have. And number 8s. The 8s take a 7mm. And the 8s are actually in the back part of the shield. So they're not right up front. There's a small little cowl piece up here that these attach to. So this is where our bolts go, and then our other 10mm or number 10s, which is actually an 8mm head bolt, those go here. See a spot where 2 clips are not where they need to be, so we're going to take the shield back down. We're missing 2. Again, this is why we do this live for you guys, so you guys can see if there is any mistakes, where they are, and what we got to do to fix them. During an oil change, all of these would come out. We would slide our shield out. I'm going to step this one back, which is a way that you could do your oil change. So there's 2 metal hardware clips missing right here. I need to get those 2 quick and put those in. I'll bring you guys under and show you guys what I'm talking about here in just a second. Okay, so I got the right clips. So right here, this is why I always keep extras on hand. These clip in into this plastic cowl piece. Just like that, they're in. Okay, so now we've got all of our hardware in place where it needs to be to hold our splash shields, this cowl protector piece, and then there's no clips on the bumper itself. Those are held in with the 8mm screws. So now let's go back in with this. Like I said, all the bolts loose. We don't want to put anything in tight. I want to be able to wiggle this shield around so that I can get the bolts in it. All right, 4 across the front in this plastic shield. Again, wiggle it around until we find where they need to be. Okay, so I got one little stubborn one here that I'm going to wrestle with. a little bit. Okay, it's going in good. Next, we're going to go for our main fours across the front. So this is where we want to go next, is to get these. All right, so the shield is pushing up. I want to fix that. So I got 2 bolts in there now. I'm going to slowly draw these in, but not tight. I want to draw them in just a bit. Again, like we said, we want to leave everything loose. But there are times where you do have to draw these in just a bit, take up some of the slack of the panel. So everything can move around right now. We're still good. One more than I want to get in. Okay, so we've left everything loose, but there's still more hardware. This is a rather problematic shield, guys. This shield is probably one of the worst ones I've seen in a while. But then again, this is an import car. So don't be surprised when you run into things like this. What's left is for us to attach our wheel liners here. And we do have to kind of fish around and find the right spot. And then put the screws in. And I am going to use the thicker screws. I'm only going to use those small ones on the 4 plastic ones that attach to that plastic bracing. So those are the only spots that I'm going to use the smaller ones. At this point, I'm going back together. I'm on kind of the downhill stretch here, guys. So the downhill stretch, we can actually tighten some of these up now. Once we've got these final fasteners into place. The wheel liners are usually last because on this one, the wheel liners are flexible. Meaning that you want to do the wheel liners last so that you can move them around where you need them. Some vehicles, the wheel liners are tight. They're metal or they're made of hard plastic. So you need to actually get those in first. Each vehicle is different. So on the Audi, the way these work is we would put the shield up into place like we did. So shield up into place like we did. Put our bolts in the very back to hold it in place because it's held in under, it goes up on top of the bumper. The bumper's the low piece. This plastic slides in on the top, We put our bolts in the back to hold everything into place, and then we can put the rest of our hardware in. Before we go tight though, we'll do the wheel wells like we just did. Next, I will move to our smallest bolts right here. Again, these we can just go like finger tight. We don't gotta get super carried away. They're in plastic, guys. So these are not something we're gonna wanna get carried away with and over tight. We can actually snap that plastic on the backside if we go too tight. Okay. So now that I've done these and my wheel liners, I'm gonna go all the way in the back and we're gonna get the back forward. Okay, quarter drive ratchet for this stuff, guys. Do not use a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch ratchet on this. You will break everything. Quarter drive ratchet is more than enough to tighten up this hardware. Okay, so when this vehicle came in, guys, there were only about 5 bolts in this whole shield. This bumper lip was not attached to the shield. Was not attached at all. It was floating. Our wheel liner bolts were gone. There were no attachments to the wheel liner bolts or this front bumper cover. The only thing holding the shield in was a few bolts across these 4 that were the smaller bolts, and then our bolts in the back. That's the only thing that held this shield on at all. When I brought this in, if I went like this, I was flapping this panel because it was bouncing up and slapping it because the bolts were not tight. Now, this is firm. This is not going anywhere. Where it was before, if I did that, the whole bumper would shake. This also helps to hold the bumper into place. That's why those got to go back in. All right, guys, we got 13 of you in here and only 2 likes. Come on, guys, give me the 50% like here. I'll finish cleaning up after I've ended stream. All right. Awesome, guys. So this is the project, guys. We got the main part of the project done here. Today, the most important part was getting this shielding put on, because next week, the oil comes in for the supercharger. That's going to be a big project. That's going to be massive. That supercharger oil change, there's a certain way to go about it. If you mess that up, you wreck the supercharger. So it is very crucial that we do that project the right way the first time. We don't oftentimes get second chances when it comes to oil. If it isn't full and it isn't where we need it the first time, we wreck it. We destroy everything. Especially in a gear driven like this one is. This is a gear driven supercharger, meaning that the gears actually sling the oil around to provide lubrication for the bearings on the back side of those gears. It also provides lubricant on the gears itself so it doesn't shave the gears off. If it's not getting oil because it's too low, it'll burn those bearings up. Give me ones if that makes sense to you guys on the oil change for the supercharger. Give me ones if that makes sense, twos if it does not. You guys, throw some wrenches up in the chat for me. Yeah. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm kind of waiting for you guys to catch up here. So ones in the chat if that makes sense. Twos if not. And tell me why. Hi to you today. Good to have you in here on this Sunday. I'm working on getting my news up and going here for you guys, but I will be transitioning into that here just in a little bit. Probably going to make me do a bunch of different things. Let me see. Maybe I'll just recreate the browser. All right. Yeah, good to have you guys in here on this Sunday. We do this at 1 p.m. Central every Sunday. And we always go live at 1 p.m. Once you guys hear the intro music start, you guys know that it is going to start hitting real quick. So I'm just working on recreating this. I see it. It's just tiny. Somehow the size of it got changed. Frustrating. Trying to get this new stuff to start here for you guys. But good to have you guys in here on this Sunday. Awesome. We're 3 likes out of 8. Close to 50. See if we can get there, guys. Let's see if we can get 2 more likes. If you guys got any questions, chat them in now. I'll go ahead and read those on screen. Just so you guys know, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to slowly transition over that. I read all mod chats. But if you want to ask a question related to automotive, I will only do it for the mod people, or if you super chat it in. Also, if you super chat in above a certain dollar amount, I shout you out and give you the sound effect. So we are working on that for the future, guys. I'm just gonna try to do it this way. Really want to show the news, guys, because it's really gonna help me kind of do the news better. So you guys are literally watching me kind of create my setup here because it glitched out on me. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna make me hate this. It's gonna make me redo my whole stream setup, guys. Sorry about the news here for today. This kind of bites because I did have some rather big topics that I wanted to show you guys on screen. But because it's just not wanting to connect and share, I guess what I could do, let me try this one more time. I'm going to try it a different way, guys, and see if I can get it. Otherwise, we're just going to transition off into the news, and I'll just have to, maybe I'll try to show you on my phone instead and just hold the phone to the cam for now. But I'm going to go this way. Nope, that did not do what I wanted it to do. All right. Okay, so that didn't do what I wanted it to do. We're not going to worry about it today. I'm going to go through and probably have to recreate my Streamlab. Yeah, it glitched everything here, guys, when I did this. Let me try resetting my camera quick. Nah, it ain't gonna work. Tried everything I could. It's just not wanting to cooperate with me at all. So rather than me goofing up my whole stream here, I'm just going to keep rolling with what we got, and we're going to move on to the news. I'll make sure I got you guys back before I get into the topic here. Yeah, this thing is just glitchy. Yeah, it's just glitchy. I gotta figure this out after we end stream, but let's go ahead and transition into the news, guys. All right, so in today's news, we've got some big topics that I need to talk to you guys about. One of them being that GM is starting to push their next car. And let's be honest, this next car is, honestly, this thing is a hybrid. It's not an EV. Everyone's trying to claim that it's going to use the EV side and the ZL1 engine, the twin turbo. Yes, it will use both, but here's the thing. It's not going to get very much power from it. If we see 200 to 500 horsepower more from the EV side, that's going to be the most that we can hope for. And ultimately, to add that much cost, that much repair, that much expense into a car, it's a no-go. And this is all because of the fact that they're trying to cut corners and do things in a way that ultimately it's not going to pay off. What they're going to do is they're going to jack up the price of this car even more than what the ZL1 is, to where the average person ain't going to touch this car. Honestly, the ZL1 right now is $250,000, almost a $500,000 car. Not feasible for most people. They're trying to enter the supercar world. They're missing their entire fan base that they could be really pushing to, which would be the sports car industry. They're missing out on a huge market there, massive market. And it's because they're making the bad decisions to go that route. It really is a bad, bad deal all the way around. Look and see if I can pull up some other stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I will get the screen sharing fixed for you guys for next week because it frustrates me that it's been glitching so much. Look, I get it to work once or twice and then it just goes haywire. So I definitely got to get the screen share fixed. Big L on my part there. All right, so the next we're going to talk about a little bit of Tesla news. You guys know how I feel about EVs.
Oh, hell no!
So let's get this out of the way right away. The biggest thing with the EV market right now is that Tesla is looking at extending the range of their vehicles. Honestly, they got to really get it up there to where it's worthwhile. Ford is claiming that some of their EVs are good for 600 miles, which we know is just straight up. We know they're lying. We know it's not true. We know the average EV only gets about between 2 to 250. GM has really made some bad mistakes. One of their EVs that they're pushing right now, it's only going to get about 250 miles of range. So that one is a huge...
What? What the fuck?
Yeah, 250 miles of range before you have to charge. These are the things that we're looking at for the future, guys. And as the hybrids kick in, I hate to be the one to say it, but...
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely that.
What the fuck?
But yeah, as I said in the future, what we were going to see, we were going to start to see these vehicles become hybrid vehicles mainly, where the gas engine acts as a generator to charge the battery.
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone because I f***ing called it!
I said this many years ago. I said it right as the EVs started kind of taking off in popularity. EV has been around for a long time. Tesla has been in the game for over 10 years. The problem that I saw when the EVs started becoming popular about 5-6 years ago is that the EVs would ultimately phase out. The reason why is people aren't willing to spend the high dollar for the vehicle and then eat a massive repair bill 10 years later. This is what killed the EV and what is going to kill the EV in the future. The cost of that battery is more than what most people can afford, and it's not going to be made any cheaper. Why is that? Cost of getting those minerals. Cost of those minerals make it to where it's not feasible at all. The cost of mining them, getting them out of the ground, shipping them to a facility, and then making the batteries out of them eats up any potential profit unless the vehicle is higher priced in value. And a vehicle is a vehicle. It's a usable commodity. We can use that vehicle up. Meaning that you can take this vehicle behind me, drive it into the ground, and there's no value to it. It is a depreciating asset. When you have depreciating assets, you don't want to invest large dollar amounts into them. Meaning that your exotics and all of your high-end cars are called investments. The reason they're investments is you're not driving them and putting miles on them. You're not putting miles on them because you lower the value. So the last thing you want to do is beat these cars up by driving them all the time. Oftentimes it will only go to shows like we were talking. If this car was 100% low mile and 100% factory hardware, we wouldn't have done this repair the way we did it. We would have went to Audi and got all of the factory hardware, but we don't need to. This car is a nice car. It's not a collector car. Collector cars are different. We have to treat them differently. We have to drive them differently. We have to do different services to them to make them last. Oftentimes those vehicles get laid up into storage for long periods of time. We're going to be getting our storage vehicle out of storage real soon. I'm going to go through what I do to wake them up, how to bring them back to life, and then the importance of when I get them out of storage. There are so many little tricks that I'll be dropping there that's going to be quite the video. And it's important for us to know these things going in so that we do it right. Because if you do something wrong in the step of waking up a vehicle, you can do damage to it. You can also cause it to where you may not be able to drive it that year because you got to fix something because you didn't check a fluid or you didn't pay attention to how it was running when it first started. These are huge indications. Also, we wanted to check for any leaks. I'm going to cover all that in that video, but just know that that is coming for the future. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing if this is your first time here. We do this every Sunday at 1 p.m. Next week, I am really hoping to be able to get this screen share thing working. It is absolutely frustrating to me that it's not. So I will be working on fixing that for you guys so that we can have this much more reliable. Little bit of last news out of the EV front, guys. I know, EV. But the last part of the EV news here is that how much will people be paying for the new models in the Teslas? Guys, expect to pay more. Elon lost a lot of money. His shareholders are very mad. And because of how he decided to be a part of the government and try to cut some of our budget, that is causing us to go in a very bad direction. It hurt his company and it hurt the shareholders to where they're no longer happy. And if the shareholders are not happy, it's gonna be an uphill battle. So expect to pay more for Teslas in the future here. Not only that, but the minerals are not getting any easier to get. We failed to strike the mineral deal with Ukraine because we're still at war with, Ukraine is still at war with Russia. We have to pay attention to some of these global things. When he was saying we need and we want the minerals to repay back the money we gave Ukraine, that deal was to get the minerals we needed for some of these EV projects and what we needed for AI. We're not getting those as of yet because that war is still ongoing. As we pay attention to some of the stuff that happens in the world, we can pay attention to what's coming down the line and be better prepared to handle it. One other thing that that is going to cost more. We're going to go ahead and transition over here. So the next thing I want to talk about is the rising cost in the Broncos. So in the Ford camp, Ford camp is making some very bad mistakes and raising the price on their Ford Broncos. The reason that they're doing this is they know that these are some of the popular vehicles. So when we pay attention to this, we know already going into the dealer how bad they're going to hit us. They're going to hit you hard if you're going in for a new Bronco right now. The best bet for you is to buy a 1 or 2 year old Bronco so that you're not taking that depreciation hit. I've talked about that in buying a used car video. I will be doing a new car video here in the next few weeks because why? 4th of July is a huge sales time for dealerships, and it's huge for the new car market. It's where they offer the most incentives. We're already seeing price drops. We're seeing them across all brands. Some of them are giving really good discounts already, some are not. We have to pay attention to where these discounts are so that when we go in, we know we're getting the discount. Because shady dealerships will not give you the discount unless you mention it. So we need to know these ahead of time so that we can be better prepared when we go in. One thing that we really want to watch in the news cycle currently is where the price of fuel is going to go. This is a big one that I wanted to bring up. I get what's going on over in the Middle East, but we have to ask ourselves what kind of ramification is this going to have for us on the gasoline side? If we were using our oil reserves, which were sold by the past administration, can't use those right now because they haven't fully been replenished. The other side of this is if we would be in a better spot as far as a country, we could withstand the shock that the market is about to take. Guys, I'm going to call it now.
What? What the fuck?
I'm going to call it right now.
Well, I sure hope somebody picks up that phone because I f***ing called it!
Price of fuel is going to go up no matter how much Trump wants to try to keep it down. Price of fuel is going to go up. It isn't just the oil sites in Iran that are being nuked. Iran's going to retaliate strike, and when they do, they're going to strike the Saudis. And when they do, it's going to take more oil out of the market. These are two huge companies for oil production. So if they get wiped out or even one of them gets hit, it has a very negative impact on the market. We could have that market, but because of the past administration, like I just said, we don't have it. So these are huge problems that we have going forward into the future. If you guys got any questions, make sure you guys chat those in. Looks like we've got 9 of you guys on here. We got a few more news topics I'll bring up to you guys. Screen share thing really made me mad. Oh, yeah. Should have brought that one up with the Tesla stuff. L on my part. So yeah, they've actually tried to do Tesla giveaways. They're not able to do it. They're not able to give them away. People just don't want them. That's because everyone's become aware of the rising cost. The rising cost of ownership is making it why people don't want EVs. When they know the truth, they won't buy them. I'm looking at some more news for you guys. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to get into something.
Hell
There we go. I had to get back into my screen here because I wanted to keep tabs on what we got going. So I'm opening up my streams. You guys got any chats? Chat them in now. We'll read them on screen. Kind of a lower view day, but I understand why, guys. It's Father's Day. Many of you guys are enjoying time at home with your family, or you guys are out having a meal. Guys, make sure you take time to call the father or father figure in your life. Say hi to him, you know, let him know you're thinking of him. It'll mean the world to him. Trust me. I already spent Father's Day with my family before coming out and doing the stream, so that was a good thing for me to do. Kind of helped recharge my batteries before coming out and doing a stream. Awesome. All right, we're looking good. So our repair project went rather quickly today, guys, like super quick. Our repair project actually sailed along a lot faster than I assumed it would. And it really kind of helped us narrow down some of the problems that we have with some of these quick change oil places. These quick change oil places are they're not good. They're not reliable. We can't trust them. Because too many times do they cut corners, and then when they cut the corners, we're left dealing with the consequences of it, especially in a situation after we've already decided what we're doing. We cut those corners and it comes back to bite us. And those corners are, we didn't have time to do that oil change last week, so we took it to a place to have the oil change done. Next time we're doing the oil change, half of our bolts are missing on our underplates. That's a problem, especially when we have to fix it. And when we find these bad shops, we have to call them out. We have to be kind of aggressive and proactive about it by saying, hey, don't take your vehicles here. Because when they're messing them up like that, they're not just doing it for one customer. It's not a one customer situation. It never is. It's more than one. And it happens often. People forget to put things back where they belong, or they were not organized enough when they took it apart. A simple pan that holds bolts would fix a lot of problems. I have a few of them. When I'm taking a big project apart, I will actually take and put a metal pan down with a magnet on them, and I can drop the bolts in there and even organize them where I want them. So that's one way to fix that situation. Shops are too lazy to do it. That's the problem. All right. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to chat some stuff in. What would you guys like to see after this project? I have a chance to bring another project in right away. That would be a 2017 Tahoe. Or I could bring in Crimson Vortex for a few projects. I need to know which ones you guys want to see first. You guys want to see Crimson Vortex, or do you want to see the Tahoe project? Tahoe project is going to take as long as this. There's a lot to do on that Tahoe. So I'm just bringing that up to you guys now. It might be something where I'm going to talk to some of my mod squad about this before moving any farther. Hey, mods, if you're still in the chat, guys, chat in. I want to know if my mods are still here. Play around with that later. Yeah, I'll get the screen share fixed next week, guys. I've been fighting the screen share thing on OBS for quite a while. I need to figure out a better way to do it. And one that actually works when I turn it on. It has not been working reliably since I've started this software. We started this software here about 3 weeks ago, guys, for our live streams. It's given me a lot more options. It's why I have a sound bar now for you guys. It's also why I have an exit stream. So you guys a little bit of time to chat some stuff in, guys. You know, I'm playing around with it, see if I can figure it out. Kind of got it, but it's all got to be resized, I think. All right. Yeah, I'm working on trying to get it resized for you guys. All right. Yeah, I just buggy and glitchy. I'll play with it off stream for you guys. You guys got to see a little of my analytics from this video. So yeah, I'll work with it off screen and see if I can get it to work right. Yeah, it's extremely glitchy. Probably what the rest of my afternoon is going to look like. It's going to be doing some housework, some yard work, and possibly fixing this live stream for you guys so that we can do screen share. It's just, I want to be able to screen share this for you guys so that it's actually visible for you guys and we don't have problems with it. Like I said, I had everything working great. It just frustrated me. All right, guys, we don't have a whole lot of chats coming in. Looks like my mod's kind of kicked out. If you guys got any questions, chat them in now. This is pretty much automotive. We do get into some political stuff when it comes into the automotive field. So like I talked to you guys, yeah, the frustration thing is we are going to run into a problem with some of those oil sites getting hit. We are going to feel it. Yeah, we're going to feel it. It's definitely going to hit our fuel. It's going to be one of those things where price of fuel is going to go up, and for us to even enjoy driving some of our cars, it's going to cost us a lot more money this summer. I'm expecting at least a $2 an hour or $2 bump per gallon of fuel, at least $2. It could be much, much more than that. But I'm suspecting at least a $2 bump. That's if they don't attack the Saudis. If they go after the Saudis, we could easily see $10 to $11 a gallon gas. And yeah, that's gonna really, 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 really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm usually far more composed. I'm just a little bit absolutely livid.
So, that being said, those are some of the things that we can expect coming up this summer as far as content for you guys. I've got quite a bit in the pipeline here. We are working on many different things here at Bad Wrench. We're working on potential merch. We're working on developing our web pages here for you guys and doing a lot more. I do want to get like my store up and going here soon. We do have a subscriber goal that we're trying to meet. So guys, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe, ring the notification bell so you get notified when I go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central. So every Sunday is a new project. The only time we recycle stuff is our yearly recycle topics. I'll give you guys a quick breakdown of what some of those recycle topics are. The first one I do is buying a used car. These are value that I'm giving to you guys. Second one I do, new cars. Third one I do, financing. And the biggest one that I give you guys on a yearly basis is overall cost of car ownership. All of those together as a yearly topic really kind of help you figure it out in the automotive field, what you're getting into, and help you to be able to make wiser decisions. This is how we can have good cars that run well, as long as we know what we're fixing and how to fix them. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I got a bunch of things to do for the stream to get this fixed for next week. I also want to go through and figure out why OBS is glitching so bad, so I'm going to work on that today. Today was a good video, guys. It was awesome. I got to talk to you guys and chat with you guys here for a little bit. Thank you to my mods. You guys are awesome. And it's awesome to have you guys in here all the time. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Cue the outro music for you guys.